Oh boy, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Bleacher Report. I am your host, TD from tdphinstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Punch that like button on your way in the building. We are live here every Wednesday night just after 6 p.m. And we talk all things Miami Dolphins football. So we have more to talk about today. Calais Campbell, Teron Armstead, a little Tyreek Hill drama, and more right here. All right. Before we get started, make sure you let your friends and family members know about the Bleacher Report app as well. All right. And make sure that you help them set it up to where that they can get all the latest news on their favorite sports and favorite teams. All right. All right. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have much time. We want to go ahead and cover as much as we possibly can. There was breaking news today that everyone is talking about. The police were called today in a domestic dispute involving Tyreek Hill. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't need to go through the full report. I think I could just talk about the facts of the matter based off of what the police have reported. Basically, Tyreek Hill having personal things going on. We'll leave that his personal business. But as far as, implications of what happened and how that can translate into the game of football, what he does for a living, it looks like there was no foul play. Maybe have become upset, threw a laptop, threw something and broke it on the ground. And basically, police have reported that there has been no physical altercation, although his wife had a bruise on her chest. She believes that it may have been caused when he picked the child up, but no arrests were made. There is a report on it. And outside of that, it's just one of those things where another thing added to the book or the ledger of Tyreek Hill and what's going on. Not to say that he did anything wrong. As he stated to the police, he has every right to pick his daughter up just as much as her mother. So at the end of the day, it doesn't look like any foul play, just a domestic dispute where the mother-in-law called the police. And they came to make sure that the situation was okay. He ended up leaving, and the scene is all fair and well. Okay. But this is leading a lot of people to talk about. I guess you would say, should Tyreek Hill still be a Miami Dolphin? Is it worth it with all the different things that are happening in his life? And then on top of it, the current state of the team. Everybody's wondering, with what happened today, is this something that can cause him to get traded? I'm going to finish up briefly on this by just saying this. The Dolphins probably will take it very serious as of today to try and move Tyreek Hill. When you look at what happened at the end of the season last year, where he quit on the team, regardless of the injury, he took himself out of the game. Teron Armstead notably had called him out after the game for what he had done. These are the type of things that are not indicative of a leader for an organization who's on pins and needles trying to make something successful happen. And with the latest information, I can tell you now, the Miami Dolphins probably will be looking to shop Tyreek Hill. I'm not sure that they'll be able to get the right deal where it's worth it, but this is something they have to start to really consider. Okay. Great player. I mean, there's no question about his value. It's just at this point, you have to ask yourself, all this time in Miami and time that may be to come, has it been worth it? And I ask you all those that are watching right now, everyone that's viewing, has it been worth it? What do you think? Has it been worth it? And I'm looking at the chat saying, this guy is just a mess, man. It's annoying at this point. I get it. We're not even a 500 team without Tyreek, but whatever. I get it. Case is already closed. It is. I don't think it's really about that. It's about the distractions always being in the news. being portrayed in a negative light, which reflects on the organization. When you look at the details of the report here, he's obviously going through some issues in his marriage, and they've been arguing a lot, as she stated to the police. He's dealing with a lot mentally. He's dealing with a lot in his life mentally. All of that is a distraction too. We have to call it what it is. Big Cheese said, trade this dude already. We need better, bruh. He ain't dealing with nothing. Well, he's obviously dealing with stuff. Tyreek had like 5 incidents since he was a Dolphin. You're right. He had the yacht situation. He had the social media lady that he invited to work out from her son's camp. He had this situation. He had the police outside of the stadium situation. We're not going to add the fire to the house. But yeah, there's been a lot of situations, man. Yes, he's dealing with himself. I agree. He is dealing with himself. And this is the important thing to consider here. This is a mental thing. This can become a mental thing. He's going through big time things in his personal life. And if you read the report, I hate even repeating it, but if you read the report, it's outlined in there the things they're going through. It's outlined in there. She's in the process of filing for divorce. They've been trying to go to therapy or work it out. He's become more and more, aggravated. Every time she has an opinion, he starts arguing with her. And this time he threw a laptop or some device on the ground and broke it. These are things that indicate frustration. And for us, and we're glad that this did not become a physical type of deal, okay? Because that's what's important. We don't want anyone harmed at all. But when you go to the game of football, if you're stressed at home, that stuff can carry over into your day-to-day work and what you do. That stuff can carry over. And maybe and you know what? The crazy thing is, maybe a new scenery could be what the doctor ordered. But hey, his life, Miami Dolphins have to decide what they want to do in these regards. I just wish the best, him and his entire family and all the children that are involved, I just wish everybody the best, and I hope that, everyone finds peace and somehow figure everything out the right way for all parties involved. I'll just leave it at that, okay? All right. But I am going to be honest and tell you, I am an advocate of Tyreek Hill being on the move at this point in Miami. I think it'll be good for him and this team in general. He's brought a lot of great excitement to Miami and production, but it also has come with things like this that could be a distraction and the lack of leadership in some of the things that he has done over the last few years. So I think that this experiment was good while it lasted, but it is actually a failure unless they decide to keep him this year and redeem himself by maybe leading us to a Super Bowl. I don't know. But that's what I have on that. Let's shift gears here real quick because I want to move forward to Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead is another reason why I'm more inclined for the Miami Dolphins to go ahead and trade Tyreek, because what a lot of Dolphin fans will not admit, what many of us will not acknowledge and accept, is that the rebuild that we started 6 years ago with Brian Flores and Chris Greer on into McDaniel all the way into today, what most Dolphin fans won't accept is that it is officially listed as a failure. It is officially listed as a failure. We were supposed to build a championship winning team, a team that's competing at the highest levels for Super Bowls after at least 4 years. And here we are in year 6 of it. And we're not even talking about having any playoff success. We're just talking about, I think we could win 10, 11 games, but to what end? Losing in the first round? That's where we are right now. We failed. The sooner everyone acknowledges that and stop thinking, because I've been getting a lot of this lately, because I've been saying this all week. It's officially a failure. And the Miami Dolphins need to rebuild this thing. And low key, without actually saying it, a lot of people are suggesting the same thing and already saying that we are, but they're not acknowledging that means we failed. But what I've gotten in my inbox a lot this week is, oh, stop complaining. You do this every year. And then when we ball out, I'm confused. Every year that I've done this, it's shown itself true. And I'm confused with the notion that we ball out. Ladies and gentlemen, people don't judge you off of what you did in the regular season in the NFL. Do you remember how phenomenal of a season the Minnesota Vikings had last year? Do you think anyone is mentioning how many wins they had after getting bounced in the first round? Do you see how phenomenal of a season the Detroit Lions had last year? Do you see anybody mentioning the season they had after they got bounced? Nobody cares about you having a winning season if you aren't competing at the highest level in playoff football. That's the only thing that matters in the NFL. All the regular season games are for our entertainment and our amusement. But when you're really evaluating a team, evaluations come in the postseason, because the prerequisite for the postseason is, first of all, to make it. We keep judging our regular seasons as if they are our postseasons. Like we can say, this team is good. Look at what we did this year. Absolutely nothing, because you did nothing in the postseason. I'm glad AB said that. What idea that say about Lamar Jackson that he comes up short in the postseason? Lucky for him, he did win in the first round, but in the second round, he came up short. And that's the knock on him and Baltimore. All of that talent with Derrick Henry, Lamar, the weapons, it doesn't matter if you come up short in the postseason. Now, if we're going to be fair and honest, if you make it to a championship round, that's fine. I don't have any criticism, because that's the cream of the crop and somebody got to lose. Those 4 teams at the top that makes it to a championship round, AFC championship, NFC championship, I'm not talking about those teams, even though 3 of them didn't win a Super Bowl. That's where we were supposed to be by last year in that game. So Baltimore didn't go to that game. Shame on them. They built to, they failed. Lamar Jackson failed. If we're going to keep it honest, no bias involved, just football. We got to stop glorifying 10, 11 wins. Oh, we had a good season, and getting bounced in the first round. No, you didn't. Failure. We got to do better. The Miami Dolphins got to do better. And what they're not saying, without not saying it, is that this team is going to be regressing this year, ladies and gentlemen. That's not being negative. That's being realistic. Teron Armstead, an all-pro Hall of Fame left tackle, still playing at the highest of levels, no longer here. Now Patrick Paul's turn. I don't believe he's ready. But for those who do believe he's ready, he's still not Teron Armstead. So you're going to regress at the position. Most likely, at least, unless he just all pros it this year. But we all smart enough to know the probability of that is slim to none, being better than Teron Armstead was. Calais Campbell, we had a massive hole losing Christian Wilkins. He came in and saved us. He saved us. Not only did he save us, I feel like he added even more value than when Christian Wilkins was here because his leadership was shown immediately. He is gone and we don't even have a replacement. And guess what? Even if you go get a defensive tackle in the first round, you might hit, but that's not even a guarantee. If you even get a defensive tackle in the first round, you might wait till the second or third because we need other positions, safety, corner. So it's safe to say there's a high probability that we're going to regress on the interior D line as well. Fuller played well opposite Ramsey last year when he played. We just don't have anybody there now. Cornerback in the draft, anybody? Johnson? Maybe. Maybe we could break even there. But if you break even there, then you're taking a loss at safety, losing Javon Holland. Or you go Malachi Starks or another safety in the first, and you take a hit on the corner. However you want to slice it, a regression. And here's the frustrating part about it. When this offseason is said and done and the team regress a little, in our mind, okay, next year, one more year of good drafting, but we're hustling backwards because this year we're filling holes in the draft while regressing. And next year, when Tyreek is definitely gone, when Ramsey may be gone, when Chubb is gone, when Jonnu is gone, what's the game plan? The same thing, to fill holes in the draft while regressing because all of those players are some of the best in the league at their position? That's 2 years we're in for to try to replace guys in the draft and regress at the same time. 2 years we're in store for. And here's the kicker to it all. That's even if you hit on every one of your picks, which is highly unlikely in itself. This is why I say, why waste time, Miami? We can reboot this thing fast if we act now. Go ahead and trade Tyreek Hill. Get what you can. Go ahead and trade Jalen Ramsey. Get what you can. I'm going to say the same thing about Jalen Ramsey that I said about Xavier Howard 5-6 years ago, if any of you remember. Can you please trade Xavier Howard now so you can get something instead of nothing for him? Because he is not going to be on a roster when we actually ever have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Ramsey is not going to be on the roster when we win a Super Bowl years from now. So get something for these players while you can, instead of cutting them or letting them walk when there's nothing you can get. trade Chubb, trade Ramsey, trade Jonnu, whose value went up last year, trade Tyreek, and you stop right there. Then you got a whole bunch of rentals on the team, obviously, because free agency, we didn't lock anybody in long term. You got a whole bunch of rentals, and you build around A-Chain, Tua Tagovailoa. No, well, that's beyond debatable. Just for now, A-Chain, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, Chop Robinson, iffy question mark about Jalen Phillips, depending on how well he plays after the injury. That's your starting core and your draft picks from this year. And you start building this thing now so that in 2 years, we can actually be back to the point where we feel like we can compete for something greater. But why prolong 2 years just to start that process 2 years from now when you can start it now and you can accelerate it because you can get assets for some of these guys now? We got to stop fooling ourselves. We got to stop the blind hope. Let's get realistic so we can have real hope sooner rather than later. Glenn said if we did that, nobody would be on the team. Like Flores' first year, I'm fine with that, Glenn. I mean, what are we trying to do here? Everybody will always fill the roster, Glenn. You just got to reset it, though. Of course, nobody great would be here, but we'll fill the roster. The problem is too many of us are still holding on to hope that we could figure out a way to really compete for a Super Bowl this year. Give it up. Stop. You're actually hurt. It's hurting us more than it's helping us. Do you, as a fan, do you want to win a Super Bowl? Then let's accelerate the process. Let's stop wasting years. Pro Under Pressure said, I don't think anyone has hope, TD. Well, if you don't have hope, but that we have to do what's going to get us to hope quickest. That's my point. Just want to win. And Roberto, I mean, you know, I talk all of this, Roberto. I talk this big game like this, but you're right. Because the people in charge won't be here either if they do that. Look at the position we've put ourselves in. We are handcuffed. We know the right thing to do, but we can't do it because it's going to be a firing sentence for the general manager potentially. So we have to go down this path of wasting time on hoping for a miracle. And you know what? I got to be honest with y'all because I'm going to tell you why I'm even more like really pushing rebuild now, because things happen in the NFL. Mahomes get hurt. Burrow get hurt. Knock on wood for these guys. No injuries, right? But something happens, and Josh Allen and the Miami Dolphins with the luck factor get in the playoffs and win their first playoff game and then get blown out in the second round. Do you know how far back that would set us? That would be so Dolphin to do the very thing to make you think, oh, we're actually better, that actually setting us back. It'll have everybody like, oh, man, yeah, we just need to build onto this. We got something. And then the very next year, 7 wins. But before we get to 7 wins, we done extended Tua again, restructured them. We done said, hey, Chubb, we want to keep you even longer. You know what, Reek? Let's go for another ride. Like we'll go do all that stuff. And I'm telling you, it's the worst. It's the worst. That would be so Miami Dolphin. Good luck, that's actually bad luck in disguise. We did that with Nick Saban. I remember. Just want a real competitive team. Like, and so you could call me jealous all you want, but could you just sit back and think to yourself, I wonder how Bills fans feel to have a chance every year, win the division, get in the playoffs, win round 1, win round 2. We just but be so close. It kind of hurt, but it's also exciting. How do Chiefs fans feel? Even though Baltimore is failing, but they get to that second and third round sometimes. How do they feel? It gotta feel good. It gotta feel exciting. And we don't even know the feeling. I wasn't even born for the feeling. It's never been in our will. And I was born in 85. Your boy just turned 40, January birthday. 40 years, and I don't know the feeling. I don't know the feeling. I was a little boy during Marino. I watched him, but you don't want to count that because you didn't understand the game like you do now, you know? Just want to win, want to have a really good team, want to actually have real stuff. Why can't we just get one of the top quarterbacks that's like, oh, everybody fear him? Like, people laugh at us right now. Why can't we have that killer defense? I ain't talking about the one that's top 10 in results, but they feared and they dominant, you know? I mean, we can't just have, why we can't have good things? And unfortunately, y'all watching me, and I don't even have the answer. I don't even have the answer. But I'm just asking this team to do us right, and let's move forward to better days quicker instead of playing this game of trying to salvage the season to save jobs that are highly unlikely to be saved. And don't let me find out you were never on the hot seat and you go through with this mess. It's a slap in the face. We got too much to do this all season. And lastly, we'll do a mock draft next week on this, but they can't pick at 13. I know everybody got a player in their head. No, take him at 13. No, take him at 13. If you're still operating out of hope, then we shouldn't be taking anybody at 13. We got too many holes to be taking anybody at 13. You got to do all you can to move out of that pick and get more picks. Get an additional second. Get multiple thirds or something. You cannot be picking at 13 for one player. That one player is not going to make the difference for Miami. Matter of fact, that one player, you might be setting off a chain event to be wasting their career because of how much longer it's going to take to build a team because you only got one player. Glenn said, TD, you are so wrong about going to playoffs every year and not winning. Worse than winning playoffs. Glenn, I understand. I think I understand where you're coming from with that. But here's the deal, Glenn. To me, it's not worse not going. And here's why. Because when we don't go, we know why. because we just can't, we wouldn't have been able to compete with nobody in there anyway. The insult and the slap of when we go to the playoffs and lose in the first round, if we are completely honest with ourselves, we know we're going to lose before the game even starts. Why? Because in the regular season, we beat nobody good that told us that we could. We know going into playoff games that we wasting our time. Of course, we going to watch and hope, but we already know. You can't find me a Dolphin fan that truly believe, hey, we going to get this game deep down. Now, you can show me a Dolphin fan that have hope that we are, man, I just hope that. Yeah, you can show me those all day, but you cannot show me a true Dolphin fan that goes into the playoffs over the last several years and say, oh, yeah, we going to win this one. No, Dolphin fans already know we're going to lose because during the regular seasons of our playoff appearances, we don't beat a good team at all. So we already know what time it is. You got to beat a good team in the regular season to feel like you can at least win a playoff game. If you get 10 wins and all of them are sub 500 and none of them are playoff teams, or one of them is a playoff team, but they're just like you, they haven't beat, like everybody say, oh, the Cowboys, we beat them. Do you know that the Cowboys beat no teams over 500 that year? So us or them had to win. So it's really not a statement of, well, the Cowboys were a winning team, we beat them. They had beat no winning team. They were just like us. So one of us had to win, finally. So that's why I say it's worse, Glenn, because we go into it knowing what the results are going to be. Yeah, we still got hope. Like, man, maybe. No, we go into it knowing. And you know, the sad part is we know we're going to lose, but we don't even know that we're going to lose as bad as we always do. I didn't think we were going to lose that bad. And when we get beat bad, it's embarrassing. Like we go, oh. And another reason why it's bad, Glenn, because we always mess ourselves out of 2 or 3 positions in the draft just to do it. We got to stop this mess. I agree with you, Glenn. That's what I'm afraid of. With our luck, we'll have a winning record this year, win our first playoff game, get bounced, and Greer will be around for 4 more years. Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm over my time. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Bleacher Report. Again, every Wednesday night, just after 6 p.m., we go live, talk about all things Miami Dolphins, current news and events. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. I appreciate you, Fly High 8813 in the building. And he said, I don't want playoffs. I want Super Bowl. Thank you. That's all that matters. And if you know you're not getting that, then we need to shift. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I will see y'all soon. Y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned. Real quick, Miami Dolphins latest news. Oh, I thought that was breaking news. He said, wish McDaniel could draft instead of Greer. Well, we don't know if that would be a good thing. It's a lot we still don't know about Mike McDaniel. There's a lot we still don't know about Mike McDaniel. All right. We got D-Hug all day. The homie said, TD, Greer and Co. need a PSA to get rid of this dude yesterday. Yeah, but, man, they're going to brush this under the rug and keep it moving. That's crazy. We had a coach like Flores. I know, right? TD, I've always been with you when it comes to rebuilding and how to rebuild. But, bro, I just don't trust this front office from Greer all the way up to Ross. Too friendly, no accountability. That's what we got to live with. That's what we got to live with, man. It's tough. What if the 13th pick is Sanders or Jackson Dart? Yeah. I'm a little aggravated at that potential just a little bit aggravated at that potential of being Sanders or Dart because I know the Dolphins aren't going to take him, and I'm going to be really mad. I know the Dolphins aren't going to take him, but I'm going to be really mad. But anyway, y'all, I got to get up out of here. Just want you to know the stream is being powered by BetUS. Take advantage of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 using code YouTube150. All right. BetUS, make sure that you gamble responsibly. If you do, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will see y'all real soon. And listen, man, this is the first overall pick. Y'all got to tell me what you think, man. I think this is a shoe-in. Cam Ward is going to get this one right here. 2025 NFL Draft first overall pick, Cam Ward. Y'all let me know if y'all think he could be different, though. Can Tennessee throw a wrench in there? Who knows? We shall see, all right? Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. Peace. I am out.